exactly. So the my main objective as a business owner and as a network owner was always to A, work transparently, which is we've checked that box, and B is to work with brands that I feel proud to represent or I
Hmm.
feel happy to work with. Um, so, we've over the last 10 years, we've had the opportunity of working with, and we still work with huge brands like Maserati, like we mentioned, Samsung, North Face, Philips, British Gas, all of these brands. Um, Fortunately, I like to say, because they're so big, they do require that level of compliance
Hmm.
and transparency. So if you as a supplier for their business, you give them that information you need with no strings attached, then there is always that trust is established right from day one. So when it comes to discussing conversions, how your leads are performing, they can say, okay, affiliate named X, they're doing really well. Affiliate named Z, actually, we need to slow them down a bit because it's not converting well. So you can have these fully open conversations without hiding behind sub IDs or source
Hmm.
IDs. Um, and the particular thing as well that I think is pretty unique is that if we work with a sub network ourselves as a supplier, we also
Hmm.
enforce that transparency. So we ask them to please provide that transparency, and if they don't, there is literally no opportunity for us to work together. So we're very, very, very strict, but because we work with very, very big clients
Yeah,
who require that information. So
yeah.
yeah.
That's also very interesting because affiliates, uh, usually when we get in or we use spy tools, then sometimes it's easy to spot very shady
Hmm.
advertisements, like some, especially now with AI, like
Hmm.
deep fakes of some celebrity who
Yeah.
says something which he didn't. It was a deep fake AI version of that person, promoting, for example, of a random offer.
Yeah.
So that's a black hat side. But actually, if you would have to submit that first, then you would get rejected. And
Exactly.
I think, and usually those campaigns tend to last much shorter
Hmm.
time, like because eventually uh, platforms catch up and whatever, or refunds pop in and chargebacks because
Exactly.
the customer will realize actually it was not Will Smith promoting this weight loss product, or
Yeah.
so if I would promote, for example, like you mentioned Maserati, I imagine if I would submit a deepfake black hat advertisement, they would reject it.
Yeah.
But actually, that would be a good thing because advertisements that are uh, like normal and
Hmm.
compliant, they last much longer. So, can
Exactly.
can you maybe share your experience, especially black hat, white hat? People think there's
Hmm.
more money in black hat because they can, I don't know. But is that actually true, or is it? Yeah.
Um, Realistically speaking, probably yes. There is more money in Black Hat. But the other side of the coin is that it's not sustainable.
Mhm.
Whereas White Hat, if you do things right, yeah, you of course you can make a lot of money. You can if you do things right and you work and you align yourself with the right partners, uh, then there's no reason why you shouldn't be making. If we're talking purely about making money, then yes, you can make a lot of money with Black Hat. You can make a lot of money with White Hat. It's just your mindset and the way you want to work as an individual and what kind of in that case helps you sleep at night.
Mhm.
From my point of view, I want to be able to be proud to when I speak to somebody about what I do to say, hey, I'm working with this brand and I'm doing this much volume for them, and they're very happy with it.
Yeah.
Whereas if I'm sending somebody an SMS about fake postage tracker and that you have to update your postage and pay €5 for,
Mhm.
then that's something that, of course, you wouldn't be vocal about.
Yeah.
And it's for me, it's all about integrity
Mhm.
as a human being. I think the brands we work with uh, are brands that I feel attracted to as well as a consumer. Not that I can own or afford a Maserati right now, but it's. it's if we're using that as an example, what a better example to say. We work with a luxury car brand, and we generate test drives for them, and out of those test drives, we track 20% of them having serious conversations with the user about buying a car. We all of that is amazing feedback. Whereas with the others, you can't. I don't know. It just depends, really. It depends what you're looking for as a person. I truly believe in running things with integrity on my side.
And it's not to forget that if still your goal would be to make 1 million or 10 million, you can do it actually with both black or white hat. So why not go the white hat route? Because you can become a millionaire in either way.
Of course, yeah.
And also very important. I mean, it's nice to tell my mom what I do and to share a nice white hat landing page with her, and where she can be proud of her son. She would probably not be with the other pages, I guess. But not only that, some things are flat illegal as well, and I think that's the darkest side of the black hat industry. And I don't know.
Yeah, I was using the one extreme by mentioning that SNS, but there's
scamming people credit cards and whatever, and have them auto bills, whatever, for a subscription that they didn't even know that they are buying, like for a free iPhone or something.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
All right, cool. So that's why you decided to go white hat route only, and
I mean, yes. One, because my background was always white hat. It's always been very aligned with that. Me and not going to lie, there have been times where I'd like to know how it works. I'd like to know how black hat works. I'd love to find out what goes on in the background. How are these people making this work? But then when it all kind of boils down to reality, what I do best is client relationships. I manage great brands, and it's just I prefer to focus on that. It's what I'm good at, and I think it's just the best way forward, really, for sustainability purpose. You can make 1 million in a month with black hat, and then you'll never make 1 million ever again in your life if you get banned or arrested. So, you can make 1 million a month in lead gen, in white hat lead gen. And you can make 1 million the next month, and the next month, the next month. So it's very, very sustainable. I mean, and touching on what you said before about the creatives as well. Typically, these brands provide you the creatives already, so you run what they give you, and then there's not actually the slight downside of this is that there's the lack of creative freedom. Where you can't, you can make suggestions, but to implement that change in such a big organization, it takes months to do, because it goes through so many layers and so many compliance processes and the wording and legal and all that. So there is that lack of creative freedom, but it compensates with the brand that you're running with. So.
Can we maybe walk through a campaign like this, for example? I mean, everyone here would probably like to drive a Maserati, but actually to make money promoting Maserati, this is maybe something that's fairly new to a lot of people listening to this podcast. So how can we make money promoting a Maserati? Can you explain that?
Yeah. So it all really, in reality, all kind of boils down to the relationships that you have. So because of the nature of the way that we've run our business for the last 10 years, Maserati's been a client of ours for 2 years now. And it's really, in all reality, it's been for word of mouth. So somebody, an agency knows somebody who manages this campaign. They put you in touch and say, hey, you should speak to Josh at Digital Mojito. They're doing really good quality and volume for this brand. Because before Maserati, we've run stuff like Infiniti, Jeep, Alfa Romeo, Fiat, loads of different brands. So, it just it's all about the relationships. So as a starting point, I think networking is really important, and you need to have a good reputation. first and foremost is reputation. Once you are exposed to the brand, then you have to be prepared to have group calls where you're sitting in one room and there's 17 other people on the other side of the screen
Okay.
watching you. One from legal, one from marketing, one from compliance, and you get fired all these questions. It's not maybe overwhelming the first time, but at the end of the day, we're all human, so they're all there to listen. We're all there to make business. So
Yeah.
it's just a question
Totally.
of entertaining what they have. So yeah, you have a prep call. Once everything's ready, we establish we obviously have to go through the legals, where IOs, contracts, everything to get it in place. Because as a network, you need that level of protection as well, because at the end of the day, you're the person sitting in the middle between the affiliate and the brand. And yeah, once you have all of the boring stuff like the paperwork out of the way, then it's just all about integrating the campaign. So we use Everflow for our platform. We use 24 Metrics for our fraud prevention. And when we create a campaign, we add all of those elements to it. We make sure the tracking is working. We upload the creators they provide. And that's once the campaign is set up, ready to go, tracked, tested, and everything is working, that's where we roll it out to the affiliates. So we already know a few affiliates from the top of our head that we feel could be a good fit for it.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of just say, hey, listen, we just onboarded this campaign. Would you like to run it? This is the payout. And for something like Maserati that can pay over $100 a lead for a 6-field first page submit, you have to be really careful with the affiliates that you give this to.
Mm-hmm.
Because you may have a brilliant relationship with an affiliate, but if you know that their traffic isn't going to match this campaign, you're better off not offering it to them, regardless of the relationship. So you have to really dig deep and think who would be a good fit. You allocate a budget, and what they do is you send them the assets. They send you a preview, or they send me a preview, like either a visual screenshot if they're running on native or display, or an email. So they forward me the email where it has, obviously, you have to include all of the elements like the header, the footer, the compliance. Once we're happy with it, we send it to the clients. Once the client's happy with it, they send us a response saying, hey, it's approved. You can go live. And in some cases, we even have like a shared, like online document, like a Google Drive, like a shared spreadsheet, where we have all of the previews listed with hyperlinks, with the name of the partner, their sub ID, the channel, subject lines, sender lines they're going to be using. Everything regarding the campaign is there for whenever their compliance or their audit team wants to review how the campaign's going. So there's many steps, but once you get the green lights from the brand, I just confirm it with the affiliate and say, okay, start off with 10 leads. 10 leads at $100 is $1,000 test. It's not a bad starting budget. And then as we start working, we start getting feedback from the clients. Say, okay, we can increase this affiliate. We can give them a bit more budget, or we need to switch up the creators for that affiliate because we find that the click-through rate is low. So there's a lot of toing and froing.
Sure.
From a feedback standpoint, so that there's a very open channel of communication in that front.
Yeah.
And it's just a question of just keep improving the campaign. Every month we get set a fixed volume of leads they want us to deliver, and then it's down to our own discretion to then just distribute that volume throughout the affiliates that are involved with the campaign.
Yeah, makes sense.
And yeah, the reality about our affiliates is that most of the affiliates we work with, we have to go through a very strict onboarding process as well.
Mm-hmm.
So affiliates that we very, very rarely close affiliate accounts. Like I think in the last 10 years, we probably have closed maximum 5 or 6 accounts. And that's because something went terribly wrong, which isn't, is maybe they use something as
shady.
As bad at, no, actually not shady, but maybe they edited an email creative without our permission,
Okay.
and then suddenly the client is in an email list, and they receive that changed email creative, and straight away it could be 11 at night. They'll be on the phone, Josh,
Yeah.
what's going on? I've just received an email. So we can't give second chances in that case, because the client won't give them a second chance because they know who they are. So, So
it makes a lot of sense, especially for big brands that have. I mean, like we said before, like these black hat brands, they're not even trying to build a brand. Like once that campaign is over, the brand is over, and then they just build a new one. But when you're Maserati, like or BMW or Porsche or Ferrari, you cannot just throw that away and start a new brand.
Exactly.
So they are on the radar of every consumer regulatory boards and whatever.
Exactly.
Like the laws in maybe consumer laws in the UK are different than in the States, different than Germany, EU, not EU, whatever. Yeah. So if I would change an email in a way that I wouldn't even know is breaking the law, for example, like for claiming false advertisements.
Yes.
Like could simply be framing the headline differently, but all of a sudden it might trigger some compliance issue because it makes everyone believe they can have a test drive for free, for example.
Yeah.
But actually it's not for free. They have to make whatever deposit, or they have to qualify first. So that would could already be like false advertisements, and they will get the lawsuit or the complaint. And totally understand it. Cool.
Yeah, there's a very fine line with on a compliance level. So if you're given a headline to use, it's because 20 people have reviewed that headline to make sure it aligns with advertising standards. So if you change one letter or you add a comma, you can give it a whole different context and a whole different spin where you think it will convert better as an affiliate. But my suggestion, and there's always my suggestion to affiliates, is like, if you have an idea and you want to put something forward and but you've shown that you can promote the campaign well, you're generating good volume and you're adding value to the brand. If you think that you can improve it, make the suggestion, send me the feedback. I'll forward that to the brand. We'll have that over conversation, and there are times where we even involve the affiliate in the conversation with the brand, where they can communicate and exchange ideas. And that way we ensure that the feedback that the affiliate has is taken on board. It's not just going into an empty bucket because we're the middlemen. Yeah. So there's maybe a loss of language somewhere. So the affiliate can transmit that message straight through directly. And the brand can say, well, actually, if you do this, it could open up this whole box of problems for us. Or actually, if you do that, it could be really good. So let me approve this, So it's that feedback loop is very, very important. It doesn't happen often, that's true. But when it does, it's we do obviously allow that, give that opportunity. So